Welcome back to the Cricket Today podcast on Thursday, December 28. We're excited for some more Aussie dominance in the Test cricket and some thrilling Big Bash games. I'm your host, Liam McAllion, also known as the Stats Guy. I'm here with Marcus Bazzano. He's a bit nervous watching Chelsea FC in the soccer. How you going, Marcus?
Yeah, well, if you just see me looking depressed during the podcast, you'll know why.
Well, hopefully we can get a winner. We'll see how we go. We'll talk some, plenty of Boxing Day Test and Big Bash stuff as well. But yeah, Marcus is a little bit nervous in the background there, which is pretty funny. So we got some Boxing Day Tests, which is heating up. Aussies did really well yesterday that we'll touch on. Plenty of BBL chat with some really good game last night and another good game coming up tonight. So today we're going to cover all things between Australia and Pakistan in that test with some nars. Finish off with a bit of SuperCoach Big Bash and then some huge matches ahead as well. So let's get right into it, Marcus.
Let's do it.
All right. So Boxing Day test, obviously Australia versus Pakistan at the MCG. Been a pretty good test, really fun to watch. I was there yesterday and a lot happened yesterday. It was really good. There was a bit of a slow middle period where there wasn't much going on and then the Aussies did really well. But Pakistan started really well, if you want to touch on that, Marcus, and some of the scores.
Well, I think Pakistan really dominated that first session, didn't they?
They did.
Yeah, dominated with both ball and particularly with the bat. They put themselves in a really strong position. They bowled Australia out for 318. Marsh finished with 41 in the morning. Jamal finished with figures of 3 for 64, which was the best for Pakistan. But it was really Shafiq and Masood who really built that partnership and got themselves off to a good start. And they really looked threatening. Australia didn't really have any answers for them. They were looking very comfortable, but Pat Cummins, the Aussie skipper, just delivered when needed. And he's finished the day with 3 for 37. Excellent bowling. What was the atmosphere like there, Stats Guy?
It was awesome. I was probably in the bar by the time Pat Cummins was bowling, but it was absolutely awesome, the atmosphere there. The crowd, I think it was 46,000, so probably not your biggest Boxing Day Test crowd, but still really good compared to, especially compared to Perth. So the crowds are really good there. I think Jamal was really good. He's backed up a first Test match with a 6-4, and now he's got a 3-4, so he's doing really well. I think Australia, as we mentioned yesterday, we thought that Pakistan bowling first was the right call. I think they definitely backed up. And we can say that it was. I think their batsmen are just letting them down as they're 6 for 194. So, as you mentioned, you got 62 and 54 from Shafiq and Masood, who are two of their top three batsmen. When you're getting that at the start, you're like, we should be off to a good start. And then they absolutely crumbled at the end. Especially with Cummins getting a few wickets, and he was absolutely awesome. A few absolute peaches towards the off stump. I was standing next to my mate, and he goes, "This one's going to hit the top of off, I reckon." And it hit the top of off, and it was absolutely, we were going off. So it was absolutely awesome.
How good was Bay 13 as well during the day?
A
little bit of Travis Head, Trav Ball, doing some Murph Hughes stretches. He
has the Murphy, and anyone with a mustache is allowed to do stretches, I think, down Bay 13 way. I saw there was some funny chants going on. You could hear it around the ground about people dressed in bananas, and it was a lot going on. I love a bit of Bay 13. You can't go wrong with that. But yeah, I think the Aussies now are in the box seat. After Pakistan, probably halfway through yesterday, we're like, we could actually win this, but not anymore. We got them on toast now. I think they drop off after their first. After you get 4 wickets against Pakistan, I think they really drop off. So I think the Aussies will still smash them. All right, you've put this I'm just going to ask it anyway. Is Pat Cummins the best pace bowler of the 21st century? Ooh, it's a big one.
Well, I'm gonna go nah.
Ooh, okay.
Just. I think by the end of his career he will be the best Australian pace bowler of the 21st century.
Okay.
But at the moment, Glenn McGrath's got it for me.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I just love the traditional sense of just hitting the spot every ball, get it moving just a tiny bit.
Yep.
But Pat Cummins, as we've seen in the past 12, 18 months, he has the ability to change the course of a game. And I'm telling you right now, by the end of his career, he'll be top 3 Australian fast-paced bowlers ever.
Yeah. Well, I don't mind a bit of Glenn McGrath. You can't go on with that choice. But I'll lean towards Nah as well. But I think you're right. I think he's very close to being that best Australian fast bowler of the 21st century. I'm having a look at his stats. Averages 22.9 with the ball, which is absolutely elite. How many wickets he's got? 242 wickets in 56 matches, which is absolutely awesome. And he's just really consistent. I think he's got the best strike rate of any fast bowler in Australian history. They were putting it up yesterday. Stark actually had it at the start of yesterday. the best strike rate bowling wise, and then Cummins with those 3 wickets has taken over Stark. So we're just the fact that we've got some of these all-time fast bowlers in our team. Australia, it's been unbelievable the amount of fast bowlers we've produced over the last probably 20, 30, or probably longer, 50 years. Just so many gun fast bowlers, and everyone comes to Australia and goes, I don't want to face them. We can only bowl 130, 140.
That's the thing with the Aussies. That's what makes us different to other sides. That's the reason why I believe that we've won the World Test Championship, the World Cup.
Yep.
Even though there were heroic performances with the bat, we by far probably have the best, along with India, probably the best bowling attack in the world.
100%.
And the most consistent, because the players, they know each other so well. Hazelwood, Stark, Cummins, and Lyon. It's hard to find much better than that.
You can definitely chuck the goat in there. Gaz Lyon, still on my Christmas tree, by the way. That's very happy that he's up there. But once you get those 3 of the best fast bowlers in the world, and then everyone goes, that's pretty good. And then you chuck Nathan Lyon in there as well, who's the best off spinner probably in the world. Absolutely unbelievable, and I can't believe they're still killing it. They're all getting a bit older. It's going to be sad once all of those guys retire, which won't be too far away, but we're going really well with them. All right, so that was day 2, and we've loved a bit of Pat Cummins, 3 for 37, bowled some absolute peaches. So who will assert their dominance on day 3, do you reckon, Marcus? We talked up Trav Ball, and then he got out before I even got to the game yesterday, but who do you think will assert their dominance on day 3?
First of all, how good is cricket? I love cricket.
I think that was a code word for Chelsea might have scored.
I think a penalty will be awarded.
Nice.
Anyways, I'll go on. But I think Australia will dominate day 3 because, as we've seen, a flurry of wickets towards the end of day 2 has really set us up for day 3. To finish off Pakistan probably in the first session, hopefully, and then solidify a position for the rest of the day, getting a handy lead and perhaps declaring at some point tomorrow. And that'll give our bowlers a really good chance to probably finish the test match on day 5, because there's definitely 20 wickets up for grabs on that pitch.
Absolutely.
So I think Australia, if anyone's going to dominate, I think Pakistan can't really win this test match in the first session, but they can 100% lose it.
Yep. No, agreed. I like I said before, who's in there? So you got Jamal in, who's not great with the bat, and you got Rizwan is actually pretty solid. I think he averages at around that 30 mark, 36 I think he averages. So they'll need a big score from him, but I don't think the other guys are going to hang around with him enough. You got a lot of guys that could bat. The rest of the guys coming in for Pakistan would bat number 11 or 10 for Australia, I think. So
can we talk about the way Jamal leaves the ball for a short ball?
I know.
He doesn't bend his knees one bit. Honestly,
he's got the periscope, so he's got his bat still up there.
Yes, he's got the back of an 80-year-old grandma. The way he's bending over like that, a bit of Notre Dame about it.
He does. If he gets a bouncer and that ends up hitting the top of his bat, that could just go straight up and he's out. So I really hope we just keep bowling bouncers at him. He gets a bit scared, and then it could be a stick cricket out where he bends over and then falls onto the stumps, I reckon.
He plays in right angles, I reckon.
Right. Yeah, he has to hit it like that. He has to duck like that. That's very funny. Yeah, so I reckon he'll go out early. I think Josh Hazelwood, though, is the one that will step up. I think you mentioned him yesterday. I think he's just so consistent. He's the Glenn McGrath of our era, I'd say. He just bowls very much like Glenn McGrath. 1 for 29 so far. He's got the best economy, though. So I think he's frustrating them with the ball. Just gets so many dot balls. And I think he's got, 4 maidens. So I think he's going to have a really big day. Cummins has got sort of all the bigger guys out. And I think Hazelwood's going to clean up the tail here. So get around the Aussies, and I think they're going to do really well again today. All right, so that's it for that's it for day 2 wrap of the Australia versus Pakistan game, and we're looking forward to day 3 today. Now we're going to get into the Heat versus Thunder wrap that was last night, actually. So I'll quickly go through the scores. So the Heat bowled out for 172. I'll just quickly touch on. They lost 7 for 16 in a massive collapse. So it was the same as last night, the other night's game, where the Scorchers lost 7 for 5. And then the Thunder, they couldn't get enough runs. They were 9 for 157. So the Heat win again. They go 1 game clear at the top of the table. Who stood out for you, Marcus?
Well, it has to be McSweeney for the Heat, particularly with the bat. He finished with 73 or 52. It was really impressive. Some of the shots he was playing were really good to watch. And It's a pretty good sign when you lose 7 for 16 and you end up winning the match after making 172. But they could have easily made 200 in that game.
Yeah,
They really threw their wickets away, which was really disappointing. They were shocking with the Heat towards the end of the innings. But Dan Sams, your man.
Oh, my man.
Finished with figures of 5 for 30 with the ball for the Thunder, the first ever Sydney Thunder player to take 5 for.
Yeah, amazing.
And, end up taking 4 wickets, didn't he, in that 19th over?
I was with my mates watching it at a pub, actually, and they always know that I pick Dan Tams first in my Supercoach, and every time I've watched it with this certain mate of mine, he always gets a duck and no wickets. So I was happy that he got a 5 for 30. 4 wickets.
Didn't make any runs, did he?
So, no, he got one. But he knew his job was done, even though he probably should have made some runs and helped him get over the line. I think it's his second game. I need to double check that. Second game in a row where he's got 4 wickets in and over. Well, because he got 4 for on the weekend. I think he's the first player ever to do that. So let me just double check if he did.
Well, I was lucky I traded him for Supercoach.
Same.
And captain him. So, of course, Sydney Thunder have the double round this round. So
he's been perfect for Supercoach. I capped him as well. I brought him in for my other guy that I really like is Salman Khan, because I found out he's only playing that first game of the double and then he's going home. So I got rid of him, got in Daniel Sams. So very happy with that. And he got the first 5 for. Who else are we going to talk about? Bancroft was really good with the bat. 46 off 29 for the Thunder. Bartlett continues to be really good. We've talked him up on this podcast. Even in Supercoach, I think he's still a pretty good value pick. 3 for 29, Xavier Bartlett. So he's going really well for the Heat. The Heat as well, they're just on top by, I think it's a game now, above the Scorchers. I talked them up at the start of the season. I didn't think they'd be first, though. So what's the yeah nah? The yeah nah for this game actually is, can the Heat go all the way, Marcus? The Heat can actually win this thing. Yeah nah.
I'm gonna go yeah. Yeah, you were talking up the Heat preseason stats guy, and I'm well on board now. I actually do believe that they can win this thing, because you have a look at so far this season. Even you look back towards the end of last season, they were, for all money, going to finish in the bottom 2. They ended up making the final and almost winning. If it wasn't for Cooper Connolly with the bat, his heroics in the final. And this season they just look really good, and you think they're not really relying on anyone specific. Particularly with both bat and ball. You had a look at last night's game. Michael Neser, probably their best bowler in the team, only bowled 1 over.
Really? Wow.
The first over of the Thunder innings, and then didn't bowl again. So that's a really good sign for the Brisbane Heat. And you're looking at McSweeney with 70-odd. Like, they have players who, on their day, can play some really good cricket shots. And their change of pace with the ball, with both Bartlett, Johnson, it's really, really threatening. And they've got handy bowlers with the spin as well, with Mitch Swepson and Kuhneman, who we know can do the job. So I genuinely think they can go on and win this thing.
I'm going to say as well. I think they're the only team so far that has looked as good as the Scorchers. So we always talk up the Scorchers, obviously going for the 3-peat. They are definitely a chance of going all the way here, which would be absolutely awesome. You got, as you mentioned, Neitz only bowling 1 over, but you've got how many is it? 1, 2. You got 6 guys in this team that are averaging over a wicket a game, so they're just sharing around. And then you've got a really good batting line. Josh Brown, I know he's been a bit off, but he was really good the other night last night with 39. Even Munro got a duck, first ball golden duck last night. And they still made 172. So they're not relying on anyone. You got Renshaw coming in at 4. McSweeney is in career best form. They just got a lot of guys in career best form. Like Spencer Johnson probably hasn't been at his dominating best, but he's still getting a couple of wickets here and there. So like you said, they don't rely on anyone. Sort of like the Scorchers. You got a lot of good all-rounders, a lot of good pace bowlers that you're going to win in Australian conditions. So the Heat can go away. I can't believe I'm saying that as well. I thought they would definitely finish top 3, but now they could easily go all the way. At least make the final again. I reckon it could be the same final. Scorchers Heat.
If they can finish on top and secure that home run of finals, particularly in the final, they've definitely got a genuine chance.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So that's it for that wrap. Heat versus Thunder. Let's get into the Hurricanes versus Stars tonight. Stars coming off their first win. And I'm trying to check where the Hobart Hurricanes are 6th. So 6th versus 7th. Both teams really looking to get another win here. Who is your best Supercoach pick for tonight? Because we love a bit of Supercoach here. Who's your best
And,
Supercoach pick for this
and I
one?
do love a little bit of Maxi as well.
He hasn't done much.
He hasn't done much, but my team's called Maxi's Golf Cart, so I've got to have him in there.
Yep.
He's still fairly cheap, 137,000.
Yeah.
He's not really bowling himself that much, so
No.
a lot of the points has got to be come with a bat. But I reckon if you're walking around the outskirts of Blundstone Arena tonight, then watch out for some sky balls, because I think Glenn Maxwell is going to hit a few out of the ground there.
Oh, nice.
You saw he smashed one onto the roof of the SCG the other night.
Yeah.
It was an absolutely massive hit.
Huge.
But he's got the potential, even though he's not doing much, he didn't score many, probably like 17 odd, early 20s last game for the Stars, but he still managed to score around 50 points, purely off boundaries and strike rate alone, which is genuine for SuperCoach. So I think Glenn Maxwell can do the same again, and I'm picking him to go very, very big tonight.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, 137,000, still cheap. He also, I think he got a few points. He always gets a few points extra from a catch or two, because he's always in the big spots for
excellent run out as well.
I forgot about the run out. That's 20 points.
James Vince, which won him the game.
Yep. Perfect. Yeah, that's 20 points right there. So I think was Zaman Khan the other night. I was worried about his score. Got up to that 50 because of that run out. So yeah, if you got guys that are in the game in the field, really good to pick as well. In this game, I'm going to go the Hurricanes veteran, Matty Wade. I think he was really, really good last game. He got 83 runs and over 100 Supercoach points. He was absolutely awesome. He's 146,700. I know he's a bit more expensive than Maxi, but he can get a few extra points. You get 10 points for a catch. So he's been keeping. Oh, actually, has McDermott been keeping? Now I'm trying to think. I think Matt Wade has been keeping behind the stumps. He's going to get a few extra points for that. And I think he's getting really confident, really good form with the bat. He's got, only played a couple of games, but coming off an 83, loves playing at home down in Hobart. So I think he's going to have a big score. I think he had a really good score last time he played the Stars as well. So in Supercoach, I think even 146 at this point of the season is a really, really good price range. Anything over that 180 is getting a bit more expensive, but 137 as Maxi is, 146. I really like that price range for players that can still go up in price. So Matty Wade for me.
Yeah, I agree.
All right. Predictions. Oh, the Stars are going for 2 in a row. What do you reckon, Marcus?
And I think they'll get it.
Really?
Yeah, I was really impressed watching the Stars against the Sixers. They haven't won against the Sixers of the SCG since BBL 08, as we touched on yesterday.
Crazy.
And I think the promising sign was that it wasn't Maxwell and Stoinis dragging them over the line.
True.
Hilton Cartwright had a solid innings, and they've just got players like even Bo Webster who can just stick around, both ball and bat for Webster's case. And I think they were really impressive, like Osama Mir and with the ball. Harris Rao finally got his first wicket of the Big Bash season, and he ended up with I think 3 because he got 3 wickets in the final over. But he finishes after this match. I think the Pakistan pair have got international duties. Yep. So, I think the Stars will try and get this over the line for them. And you never know, on a small boundary with big hitters in that Stars team, I think some big scores could be on the cards.
Yep. No, fair call. I'm going to go Hurricanes. I don't trust the Stars to produce a good performance 2 games in a row. I really like Bo Webster for the Stars, but I feel like their batting lineup, you got Maxi, I know he definitely can bounce back, but Stoinis, Harper, those sort of guys, other than Hilton Cartwright's been really consistent in the middle, but you got, I think Stoinis and Harper are really struggling and look just really out of touch. They can't even middle any ball at the moment. So I'm going to go the Hurricanes. I think you got one of the best probably fast bowling attacks in the comp. You got Nathan Ellis. You got then you got some spin as well with Paddy Dooley, but Riley Meredith with the pace as well. So I don't really mind them at home. I think this is going to be a really close game because both teams are sort of going to be in that bottom part of the ladder. I think the way they're going, but especially their batting lineup. I think Matt Wade, like I said in my SuperCoach pick, will decide this game if he can make another 60 odd. And I think the Hurricanes can win, but that could be you could say the same about the Stars. If Maxi makes it 60 odd, then they'll probably win. So I'm going to lean towards just the Hurricanes, just because they're at home. So get on the game train.
I think the Hurricanes are quite like a slightly lurking beast at the moment because I think they're very similar to the Heat last season. They've definitely got the squad, to sort of carry them over the line in some games, particularly with the ball. We just haven't seen it yet this season, and who knows if we'll see it for the remainder of the campaign.
Yeah, well, I think one of those guys that needs to step up is Tim David. I think this season and pretty much most of last season he was horrible, and he was an Australian player, IPL player, so I really hope he makes some runs as well. So we'll see how we go with that. I'm on the Kane train tonight. All right, that's it for the Cricket Today show. We'll be back with this tomorrow after day 3. I think it'll be Marcus and Leo on that one tomorrow. So get right around the show. Subscribe on your podcast apps, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, etc. Like and review it, would you? Chuck a follow to Cricket Today and Cricket Today AU all over the socials. That's Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and X. Send in any questions via the socials. As we say every day, you can have a go at us. Check out some of the content we did yesterday. Check out my photo with Flem. That was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Anything you want us to chat to us about. And that's it, I think. Thanks, Marcus.
So cheers, Dascal. I reckon we'll probably get the ballologist on the pod soon.
I was tempted to. We were talking to him about it. He said, that sounds like a good pod. I'll have to check it out. So we might have to get him on. He would talk about the avenue of apprehension and all the little quirks he likes to talk about. But yeah, cheers, Marcus. Thanks, John, for producing. Thanks to me. And that's another episode of Cricket Today done. We're out.